Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm showing you my JMP-1 Marshall preamplifier. Yes, I know it is not usual me. I'm not a preamp guy. Definitely I'm not. Definitely I'm really not a preamp guy. But this was a piece from the 90s. When I was a kid, I was playing. This was the holy grail, like the thing that everyone real professional had. So it has been on my dreams for a long time. And fortunately, it is super dirty cheap at this moment. It's very cheap, very cheap. This one cost me 250 euros, which is $210 or $200. So it is super inexpensive. If you think of it as a pedal, it is for free because you have all of this programming material. You can program it in a lot of different ways. So you have 99 presets. Well, you have 100 presets because you have 0, 2. So you can program it as you want. And it is a great preamp. It is tube preamp. It is a great machine. Of course, since it is a Marshall, it is a lot more inclined to the overdriven tones, the rock and roll stuff. And that is why I have my rock and roll guitar, my Firebird. I'm plugging it. It is just a preamp, so you cannot plug it directly into a speaker cabinet. So you need a power amp. Usually they come in racks, and Marshall has some really huge ones, really huge power amps. I'm using the Lone Star, the Mesapuki Lone Star power amp. I'm connecting out of this JMP-1 into the return on the effects loop of the Lone Star, so none of the knobs and reverb work. Just the power amp, just the master volume. That's the only thing that works. I have 4 or 5 presets here, like clean, cleaner tone, a less clean tone, a crunchy, etc. Let me show you the pre-programmed I have. So it is pretty straightforward. This knob controls the data, so the numbers you see in here. When you are in patch mode, this knob controls the patch number, and it doesn't work really good. It jumps from some presets, but that's okay. You can use it with a foot switch, a MIDI controller, but there's no use for it in this video. So this is my clean tone. It has 2 cleans over here and 2 overdrives. Then it has bass, middle, treble, presence, gain, and volume for the preset. So you can have a clean tone and then save another preset with the exact same clean tone, a little louder or a little quieter. So it's very useful. And I have it for studio purpose, just for that, and for collectible purpose. So this is the clean tone on the neck pickup of the Firebird. It's a clean tone. It's really clean. Then I have second channel. I have on second preset. I have the OD1, which is a more natural overdrive set for a crunchy tone. And I'm immediately noticing that it is a little bright and it has a little few bass. So I will just punch in the bass. I will kick in the bass control over here. And now I see the bass is on 2. Let me put it on 3 or 4. I like it more. Store, I will go to this and just store it to preset number 1. That's it. Simple. Okay, let's go to preset number 2. Preset number 2 has OD2 set on. We'll go there in a minute. Preset number 3 is OD1 again with a lot more gain. Preset number 4 is OD2 with more gain. Yeah. Okay, so how does it work? First of all, it has a great feature, which is the output level that allows you to always turn up the unit. So you have all your volume, your master volume for each preset set, but then you can make it all louder or all quieter, which is great for gigging. I've preset this 5 first presets just to have different colors in the studio. So let's go to preset 10, for example, and start from scratch. It has 2 voicing for cleans and 2 different voicing for ODs. So OD1 is a more natural overdrive. OD2, I think of it as if you get the OD1 but then pushed in a tube screamer. So it gets mid-rangey, honky. It gets that tube screamer mid-rangey, which is great with Strat. Let's go to the clean setting. And because I talked about the Strat, let's try it with a Strat because it is a lot more normal than the Firebird. So you can understand better how this works. This way, with a Strat, you know how a Strat should sound, so you have a reference. The Firebird, I know how it sounds, but you probably, you might not know. So this is a Strat, a clean tone with a Strat. Okay. I wouldn't think of it as a Strat thing, but it is. I always think of it as a rock machine, so I think more of Les Paul, Telecaster, Firebird. They are my rock guitars, but it is a good. So if we go to preset number 0, which is my clean tone. So it can be a very perfect strat. It's a perfectly good, clean sound. And I'll go through the presets if you want to copy it, if you have one and you like the tone. So gain on 18, let's start with volume. Volume on 16, gain 18, bass -2, mid 0, treble is on 5, presence -1. The effect thing is for the effect loop, which is not working properly in this preamp. I couldn't make it work. So channel clean 1 it has this clean tone. And clean 2 is a little brighter. So the same riff. On clean 1. So it immediately allows you to, with a simple flick of the voicing, you can choose a different flavor. So you can balance different guitars. You can use clean 2, for example, for humbucker guitars, and clean 1 for single coil guitars. Just thinking, but it is very versatile, very versatile. Clean tone, okay. Okay, perfectly good. Let's go through the knobs and let's test no bass. Bass on 0. Bass on 6. Okay, so I think I'll leave it on 0. You still have a bass shift, which is kind of a bass resonance. Really bring some low end, some fenderiness to your tone. So it's really great. And it is a non-off option, it is not tweakable. The mid-range, let's check the mid-range. It is on 0. So it is a Marshall mid-range. Treble on 5, let's test it. It almost doesn't change a thing. And presence. Here, the presence really works, because usually when we talk about presence in martial amps, as this behind me, it is another control for treble. But in here, I feel it makes the guitar come forward, more present. So it really works. Let's test the clean 2. The controls on the clean 2. While we're on present. So, okay, on this clean 2, the mid, the presence and the treble are really high, mid-range. Mid-range is the same, bass. Let's use the bass shift. I will start this preset because it's sounding great. It's stored. I really love it. I went for the clean one first, but now I prefer the clean 2. It's brighter, and with the bass shift, it brings it fuller. So I like it. I love it. Let's go to the overdrive 1 with the settings at 0. Okay. All at 0. Gain at, so it goes to 20. Let's put gain at 10, because the clean preamp has different gain staging than the overdrives. The OD1 and the OD2 already have more gain into it. So the OD1 sounds like this. OD2. It's still too bright for me, so I'll take the treble off a little. Boost the bass. I'm having fun already, so I'm taking along. I like this sound. I don't want to overwrite my other presets, so I'll hit store, and then I'll move it to another location. For example, 10 or 5. I will do it on 5. Store, and that's it. It's on 5 now. I like it. It's very simple. Although I'm not a menu guy, this is not a menu because you don't have to go into menus. You have all the switches here. Instead of having knobs that rotate, you have to press bass and then change the bass, middle and then change the middle. But it is almost like a regular amp with less knobs. It's just pushing buttons. And let's try the same setting and hit the bass shift. The bass shift. And now it's sounding great, but for leads, it lacks a little cutting. So let's just try to keep it all the same, and I'll store it again on 5 with the bass shift. And let's just try to set it the same, but kick in the OD2. OD1. It's great. It's great. It's really, 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 really great. And that's it. It's super simple. You just connect a MIDI controller if you want on the back. It is all tube design, although it is digitally controlled. It is all analog. You can use it directly. I don't like it. You can take an XLR directly and record it, but it sounds like crap. But it is if you think of it as a pedal, it is the most complete pedal there is. But since it is in a rack and we are not living in rack age, in the 90s, everyone had a full rack of gear, digital delays, analog delays, all rack. Now, fortunately for me and for you, if you want to buy one, it is not a trend, so they are selling cheap. This cost like in the 90s, it would cost something like today 2,500 euros. It was something like that. It was really, really, really very expensive. I bought it for 250, so 10 times less. And it is great. Let's hear it. It can go extreme. And Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top guitar player, uses one of this live. It's his sound. This and Evolve State. And the bass player of ZZ Top also uses one of this. So it is great on bass too. Let's hear it with the Les Paul tuned to D. One step down. You want metal? It can go. Of course, it can go metal. It was made in the 90s. All guitars had Floyd Rose back then. So you just scoop the mid-range, and here it is, 80s metal. Yeah, I'm tripping back to the 90s, going back to all my heavy licks, which are really out of date. They are old school because that's when I heard metal. But it is you can really dig in there, and that's why probably this has not a great reputation amongst vintage players. But I showed you it can be a very vintagey sounding overdrive. Let's try the OD2 with this set. Sorry, I'm just having fun, excuse me. Great. I haven't played this kind of thing for a long time, and it is fun to play. But we were in a heavy setting, we can go to 5 on the gain, then back the mid-range, turn the treble a little off, turn the presence to 0, and we'll probably have a rock and roll setting. Even less. So let's, for example, I like this tone. Let's start it on 6. Okay, and then let's do the heavy metal. Okay, so we can go from this thing with a simple foot switch. You can go from this. So you get the magic of these boxes, and you probably get why they were so used in the 90s, because people played all over the place. A band like, for example, Incubus, even Pantera played really clean, Metallica played really clean, even Red Hot Chili Peppers played really heavy and then really clean too. Faith No More, for example, they played all over the place. So this was really used. And the thing is that it sounds really good. It just looks like a digital piece of gear. The looks are not the greatest, but it sounds great. And to me, it always reminds me of when I was a kid and I looked at this preamp in music stores and I was blown away for so many options, the lights. And when I grow up, I want to have one of these. I grew up, I have one of these. Well, my friends, that's it. I hope you have liked the show. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe the YouTube channel, join the family, and we'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.